Good morning and a warm welcome from Sheffield for the WNIHL playoffs. I'm Adam Mattman and joining me for this one is Richard Rambo Gray. Rambo, how's it going, my friend?
It's good. I'm really pleased to be here. It's a real good atmosphere right at the start of the day. Lots of people that are off chipper this morning, which is good to see.
Yeah, we're in for a treat for the first game here. Under-16 semi-final pits the two teams that played out last year's final, which went to sudden death overtime. So that's the reigning two-time champions of the Chelmsford Rattlesnakes and the Whitley Bay Beacons champions of the North. So just before we go back to that, up on your screen there we have the players. Evie Tyndale obviously is somebody to look out for, isn't she?
Yeah, I mean, Evie Tyndale, I made a bold prediction about her points total this weekend across all the teams she'll play for. And I think one of the finest young athletes we've got in this country, so I'm looking forward to seeing what she can do in this semi-final.
Well, she comes in having scored 104 points this season, that's 74 goals as well. The Rattlesnakes, it's a two-pronged attack really, isn't it? Freya Price of the Queen Bees and Tilly Howe. And they're the two real main leading goal scorers on this Rattlesnakes team.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the things, unfortunately for us, Adam, is we don't get to see a lot of the South. So it's exciting to see players we don't see a lot of.
Yeah.
Obviously, you'll see Freya Price a bit with the Queen Bees, but I'll tell you who else I'm excited about. I'm excited to see how Lilith Wright performs in this game as well.
Yeah.
One of the best young netminders in this country, I think, and one for the future. I think we'll definitely see her in GB colours one day.
Indeed we will. As you say, she's an exceptional young talent. The Beacons line will be centred by Evie Tyndale then. She'll have Miley Fraser on her left and Poppy Skelton on her right. Her cousin is the captain, Heidi Dunn, and she's going to be partnered on the blue line by Catherine Mitchell. Still going to double check the Rattlesnakes starting five in a second, but other forwards to look out for are Summer Basing and Isabella Morena. They were here last year as part of that championship winning side, as is the what was called the Pee-wee line last year of Alia Badrock, Eliza Smith and Alice Whiting. Zinnia Quilter I think is the only member of last year's top four defenders to return, because a lot of the others aged out. And as you said, Lilith Wright continues in goal, and we've seen Lilith for the last couple of years playing for this Rattlesnake side.
Yeah, a lot of excitement right off the bat as well. I obviously know Catherine Mitchell quite well, and then Molly Walker quite well, as formerly part of the Iron Maidens team. So it's good seeing them, in amongst new line mates, learning new things and stuff, and just a great pair. So yeah, I'm excited to see how this goes.
As am I. There's a bit of a delay before we get underway. The officials are just checking the goals. I can say that Amy Campbell is the senior referee for this one. Holly Needon is going to be one of the linos. I'm not sure who the second one is, but they are all female officials for this event, as is tradition. But I mean, this is a real barn burner, isn't it, to open up the playoffs? A 15-game slate for this weekend, and as I say, last year's under-16, a repeat of the final. Couldn't have wished for a better first game, really, could we?
Not at all. I mean, the rest of the games, I reckon, are going to have a lot to live up to after this one.
Yes.
I think it's going to be a tough act to follow. That difficult. If you get a good opener at T in the Park, I'm aged myself. Well, that's not a thing anymore. But a good opener at Glastonbury, it's quite hard for the rest of the acts to follow. Yeah. So yeah. I think that's what's going to be like this morning. We seem to have some kind of net issue. They're looking at us like we can help. We can't help you.
Well, while we have got this delay, we'll just run through what happened last year then. Whitley took the lead inside the opening 10 minutes. That was Evie Tyndale, no surprise really, put her side in the lead from Olivia Bath, who is no longer with the Beacons. She's playing out in Canada now. Chelmsford were really matching the Beacons all over the ISO and all back level within 5 minutes. Freya Price scoring from Tilly Howe. That's that partnership we're going to be looking at again today. Sides weren't level for long though, because Olivia Bath then set up Rebecca Goldring, who we haven't mentioned, Rambo, another good young Scottish forward who really is going to probably lead the team offensively next year when Evie ages out. Then they levelled once again, the Rattlesnakes, this time through Freya Price. Whitley went again ahead at the third time. Olivia Bath scored from Emily Duffy, again another young Scottish forward for the Beacons. Then Chelmsford, lo and behold, got a third equaliser when Captain Cara Jones scored on a power play. She's now aged out, so she isn't here. That took us to the additional 5 minutes of 3-on-3. Freya Price was the one who scored the goal. So yeah, that's what separated them. The only time the Rattlesnakes were ahead in that game was when they won it in overtime, but there was nothing between them all game, and we're not expecting it to be much different this year.
Yeah, and the thing is, in 3-on-3, it's cruel. We need a way to decide things, but it's quite a cruel mistress. One tiny mistake, one turnover can just end it all very, very quickly. And that's what happened last year. I've seen it. I went up the road early thinking that I'll get that. I wish I'd stayed for that game. Obviously, seen the highlights of it. Excellent game, and as always, I think maybe the highlight of the weekend, as many people have said. So. Yeah,
well, I think for the last 4 or 5 years, we've seen the under-16s final has generally been the best game of the whole weekend, and we tend to get 2 evenly matched sides, and it lends itself to being a really good game of hockey. And last season was probably it was certainly right up there, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what's good about this year is that obviously the format's changed slightly. There's an extra set of playoffs essentially with the Div 2 Elizabeth joining us, and so it's going to be it's quite good to see them as the actual curtain jerker for the start of the weekend. There seems to have been a goal substitution, like the actual goal has been substituted. You can see that on your camera. Not quite sure the story behind that, but we now have a goal that's seen better days, I think, in terms of red paint, but it's in one piece, so we're getting ready to go now.
Indeed we are. So Sophia Adamson, her sister, is the backup goalie for the Rattlesnakes. Lilith Wright, as we said, will get the starting goal. We haven't mentioned the Beacons goalie, but starting for them will be Peyton Carnison, and again, Rambo, somebody you know well from the time playing for the Iron Maidens. Yeah,
absolutely. Peyton's a great young goalie. I think she's played for quite a few different teams. Her parents have really put in a lot of travel time to get her places and things. And she played that 3-on-3 tournament they had in a Braehead, and the name escaped me there, and really stood her ground for the youngest goalie there by quite a margin. Absolutely stood her ground, looked fully part of it, dealing with people like Maya Beretta and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's not particularly difficult, and rocking, I have to say, some of the nicest goal pads I've ever seen in my life.
Oh yeah,
it might be the only goal pads I've seen in my life, but certainly.
Yeah, sorry for this, folks, but we are still waiting for the go-ahead, aren't we? Yeah, I mean, the goals are in place, so I'm not quite sure what the delay is for now, but the officials have come over to the timekeeping bench. It does look like we're getting ready for puck drop now. So, as we said before, starting line for the Beacons will be Fraser, Tyndale and Poppy Skelton, and it's going to be the Tilly Howe line to start us for the Rattlesnakes, and it is Howe who wins the draw straight off, but Fraser trying to force a turnover. Puck comes loose into the defensive zone, and it'll be the Beacons all clear, but just as I say that, the Rattlesnakes will enter on the far side, and already starting to get the shot from the high slot. That will be covered up by Carnison, but Tilly Howe there showing us what to expect for this game.
Yeah, certainly, and actually probably a good thing for Peyton. This is her first playoff experience, to get a save right off the bat. She's really good in really good position there to get across. So gets her a bit of confidence that she's got this and she can backstop this team to a win.
Indeed, yeah, that was just about, well, I was going to say kept inside, but as I said that, it's Miley Fraser who pushes out. Skelton couldn't quite get on the end of that, and the Rattlesnakes will look to build. So Freya Price is on this top line with Tilly Howe, and completing that top line is Casey Lee Beeson, as that one's worked back to the point. Heidi Dunn will fire. It's to Skelton, who has a chance. She's left all alone in the slot. On, it's in! Beacons get the early breakthrough then. Poppy Skelton, who dug the puck out of the blue paint, couldn't quite get the shot off, but it was looped home at the back door, and the Beacons needed only 50 seconds to take the lead here. As we'll get a replay coming up now. I didn't actually see who it was who put it home in the back post, but you can see here Evie Tyndale working the puck back to the point to her cousin Heidi Dunn. She picks out Skelton, who does ever so well, gets a shot off, then digs out the rebound, and it comes loose, and it's put home by Miley Fraser. Yeah,
that's a good anticipation for her. She stepped a little bit back before going in for that rebound, so she didn't miss it on the way through, and and buries home the first one for Whitley, who give them a nice early lead.
Indeed, yeah, and I mean, because right from the opening puck drop, it was Chelmsford who had the early opportunities, but Beacons from that defensive zone draw just able to break out and go at the other end, and it was their first attack and they've got their first goal, so that will calm a few nerves down there, I'm sure, but plenty of time to go. And as we said last year, as soon as Beacons took the lead, Rattlesnakes were soon back level, so we're expecting nothing different here as Lydia Beddoes will look to get that one away. It stays inside the Beacon zone, and it's Freya Price not quite able to get on the end of that. So Freya, who was starting on that top line on the left wing, she centres the second line, so she'll be double shifting pretty much throughout this game. Holly Smith will dig that one away on the backhand, and that will release the Beacons on the far side. And it's Molly Walker, I think, who's getting into a bit of a battle there. Physical player who's that shot comes in, a big rebound, but the Beacons looking to sweep that one away. The same Molly Walker, who plays senior hockey for the Sharks in Div 1, Solway Sharks, as Emily Duffy will carry this one out, tries to get the shot off, but that's a good block there from Zinnia Quilter. She's feeling that a little bit. You can see that she took that one full force in the ankle.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't even want to block one of Emily Duffy's snapshots as a goalie, let alone as a player. That looked quite gnarly. Hope she's okay.
Yes, she was feeling it a little bit, so we do hope she's okay. And Rebecca Goldring is going to centre this line for the Beacons. And from the draw, Rattlesnakes will look to dig the puck out of the corner. It's the Tilly Howe line back out there. They're probably going to use two lines here. Beacons are down onto their third line, so they are rotating everybody. Brooke Royce across there onto the far side as we get a whistle, but Brooke's been around since the very first days of this team 5 years ago, so she's one of the originals, but one of 7 players who's going to age out this summer. So I mean that's going to be quite some different lineup for next season. Yeah,
it certainly is. It feels a little bit like the last dance for Whitley in terms of getting the trophy home.
Yeah.
Not that, I mean, Whitley seems like a regular hockey factory though, so I think they'll be okay. But you know, it's certainly a lot of talent aging out.
Yeah, well, literally last year could have gone either way. It went the way of the Rattlesnakes, who won their second championship in a row. But for the Beacons, obviously they will feel it was an opportunity lost, but they always knew they had this season essentially for a second chance. But the feeling is there won't be a third chance next season, so they've got to get the job done this year if they are to fulfil their destiny and be crowned under 16s champions. As Evie Tyndale's got a bit of space to work with here, cuts through a neutral zone into the offensive zone, cuts onto a backhand towards goal. It's a great last-ditch challenge and a poke check from Zinnia Quilter, who we mentioned before in the build-up, who is going to be their top or most experienced D on this Rattlesnake side, Rambo.
Yeah, I mean, you watch the edge work for Evie Tyndale, though, it's exquisite.
Yeah. Puck just sitting up in the slot, but it's cleared, and that will force the Beacons to retreat. Catherine Mitchell will come across and gather. That one's cleared, and it'll be Evie Tyndale who will gather. She wears number 35 done on the back of her jersey. That's her mother's shirt, her old Beacon shirt, so that's why she wears that at under 16 level as a sort of homage to her mum, who was an excellent female hockey player in her own right.
She's not a Scottish internationalist.
Yes.
I'm sure I tried to cleave Evie for the Scotland East.
Yeah, well, her granddad, who obviously Kerry's dad, was from Scotland, so that's where the connection comes from, and why Kerry did play for Scotland, indeed. And as we know, Dunn is a Scottish surname. But yes, so that is why, and so Evie would, yes, qualify for a Scottish international team. But a dad very much from England. He's from County Durham and a former Whitley Warriors legend as well. So she's from a really big hockey family. As we're just looking at the replay here with that burst down the slot, and it was just Quilter getting that vital poke check in there.
That was a really important poke check there. You kind of feel that they need to stay within one goal here, Chelmsford at the very least. I'm sure they'll be desperate to equalise, but...
Well, I mean, I suppose as much as anything, you've just got to keep it, as you say, a one-goal game and keep it close, so you've always got a chance, haven't you? But they are soaking up a lot of pressure right now, but having said that, they are dangerous going forward themselves, and Whitley with Emily Duffy now will enter the zone, gets a shot off, it's deflected though, and again, I think it was it Quilter or was it... I think it was Badrock who got that there, but either way it was a very timely intervention there, as we'll get a line change from the Beacons. But yeah, I mean, it's almost 5 minutes in, Rambo, and it's already been some good plays already.
Yeah, it certainly has been. If you've seen this as the Whitley's third line, I mean, a third line that starts off with Rebecca Goldring in centre is, you know, some teams would kill for that in their first line. So.
Well, indeed, yeah. As Beeson will look to cut inside Rose Wilson, she'll do so. Gets the shot off. Good save by Peyton Carnison, who got that left pad down low and blocked. And India Bryan, who was one of the players who was forced to go to Billingham at the start of the season, but then did come back to Whitley, thankfully. And completing the line there is Brooke Royce, who's just couldn't quite get the puck under control to clear. Now they'll carry out with Goldring, and she's got pace to burn as well. You think somebody like Ruby Newlands is fast. You've seen nothing until you've seen Rebecca Goldring in full flight. From the Aberdeen area, but I believe her father and her father's family is from the northeast of England, so that's why she's got a connection to Whitley Bay. But we've seen that save again, and Carnison doing well just to outweigh her. She didn't panic, did she? She let the shooter go first.
Yeah, stayed big in that situation, and I mean that's an easy one to get handcuffed on, and she didn't let that happen to her. So.
Tyndale will carry in down this left wing side. Oh, that's an inadvertent trip. I don't think we're going to call it. I can understand why Chelmsford want the call, because it's one of them where it wasn't intentional, but you leave your stick in there and somebody gets brought down, as Rattlesnakes not quite able to get it away, but Beacon's unable to capitalise. Now Miley Fraser, the goal scorer, working hard along this left wing side. She's probably doesn't get as much attention being on that line with Evie Tyndale, and obviously Poppy Skelton, who's well established as a senior player now as well for the Div 2 Beacons. But Fraser is a much younger player, so she's got a few more years left on this Beacon side, and she's probably going to be one of the leading lights for next season, as Tyndale will carry in, drifts wide to the right hand side hash marks. Walker's open, she'll collect as the Beacons will change on the fly. Still with Molly Walker, as I say, she is part of the Solway Sharks, although a family are from Merseyside. Shot comes in from Holly Smith on the point, and she's one of the top young defenders coming in, but coming through the system. But she actually plays as a forward for their Div 2 team, and we'll see her in action playing for them tomorrow. Duffy winds one up. She scored an excellent goal the other week against Billingham, where she got a shot off on the backhand. I've never seen anyone get so much power off a backhand shot, and she went top shelf. It was a thing of beauty. If you want to see that one, do check out the Beacons YouTube channel. But I mean, she's someone you know playing in Scotland, Rambo. She is an exceptional talent, isn't she?
Yeah, absolutely. She's got, as I say, her shot's absolutely ridiculous. She just, you know, the way she can get that off is one of the best releases you'll see all weekend, and I mean across the weekend, it's really, really good.
Well, indeed, yeah. As we're going to get a face-off just outside the Rattlesnake zone then. Holly Neenan about to drop the puck. She is one of the top international referees or officials that we have here this weekend, but she is on the line for this one. Amy Campbell, who's a Teesside-based official. She's just taping up her hand there, so I don't know if she's took a knock on her fingers. So she's getting a little bit of running the pairs going on. It's been quite stop-start, isn't it, in this not quite first half of the opening period?
Yeah, the teams are feeling each other out as well. It's,
yeah.
You know, it's early days in the game. The ref has got they dropped the puck maybe a little early for the ref there. Did well to stay out of the way. I think we just talking through the whole pageantry of the weekend. These ref shirts, Elite League, take note. That's how you do a special ref shirt. Yeah, not the one that looks like old newspapers that you had earlier in the season.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. They do look the part, don't they? They are specially designed just for the playoff weekend. And once again, organiser Faye Andrews doing an excellent job, and had to do some running repairs as well. She had to manually fix one of the shirts to be custom made for one of the officials, which was she's a master of all trades, really. As that one goes into a corner, but she does such a great job organising the weekend, doesn't she, Rambo? She
certainly does. I mean, she's got so much to do. There's a lot of teams here, and coordinating it all and making sure it all stays on time and stuff. I think there's a recce game advertised for the end of the day, and so this place isn't just exclusively for us all weekend. No. So we've got a lot to coordinate.
Yeah, that shot there, just as we were discussing that was Emily Duffy cutting in off the left wing, went high, but couldn't quite beat Lilith Wright on that one. We're back underway then, and it's this third line with India Bryan who will dig the puck out the corner. As you say, Rambo, that is a luxury most teams would love to have, is to have players of the likes of India and Rebecca Goldring on this line, and Brooke Royce, of course. As that shot comes in, and again it was off the blocker. She's right hand with the glove, isn't she? Which is quite unusual for a goalie.
Yeah, and her sister. Oh, we'll see
what happens here.
Oh.
Catherine Mitchell doing just enough there to
wow,
pull her
she
off.
did well there to stay with that, because there was a lot bouncing around of that puck.
Yeah, it was the follow-up shot coming in, wasn't it? It's I think Catherine Mitchell did a good job of stopping the initial attack, but that one we'll see at the other end now. India Bryan down this left wing side. That one's cut out by Freya Price, who is very much part of the Queen Bee setup, and her line mate Tilly Howe, part of the Chelmsford teams, played for the Cobras and the Pythons this season in the Senior League, so which is kind of what you expect, isn't it? Your top 16 players are going to be playing senior hockey by this stage.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're going to get a break on here. Beacons with Holly Smith standing her up. Oh, puck's come loose. She lost sight of it. Peyton made the save, but thought she had it. Yeah, that one comes through, and again she did well to get that one because she was screened on that occasion. Puck goes into the corner, and well done by Catherine Mitchell, who used her upper body strength there just to fend off the Chelmsford attack. Now here comes Miley Fraser. Shot comes in, it's deflected, and Lilith will just cover up. And we get a whistle on the play there.
You were talking about Peyton catching the other way. Oh, here's the
replay.
Here's the replay here. Look at it, the first sort of well, no, that's a different replay from what I was thinking about.
That's the one that's come loose, isn't it? Yeah. So much action going on in that last shift, wasn't there? We're back underway then, and puck is gathered by Tyndale, who's not had a great deal of time on the puck. I imagine the Rattlesnakes have done their homework and have said, you know, always have somebody on her, or perhaps two players on her, because she, if you can keep her quiet, then you're already doing probably 80% of your job, because as I say, she's scored over 100 points this season. She is the all-time leading goal scorer at under 16 level, both in terms of got points in a single season, but also she's broken Louise Adams' long-standing record as well, which is no mean feat. As Tyndale strokes the puck out wide to Poppy Skelton. I call her the Durham Dynamo. She is from County Durham, and she works so hard up and down that right wing side, and she's just bought her team an offensive zone face-off there.
Just on the point of Evie as well, you were I forgot what I was going to say. Was it?
We'll come back to that in a second. Then, what you think as Emily Duffy's line is out there. Beacons having lots of very quick, short shifts, aren't they? Keeping everyone fresh.
I think so. I think potentially the way I'm reading this game, that Chelmsford are playing a little bit more two-line hockey, which means that if the Beacons can keep this up, 3 lines, quick shifts, they should have a little bit more gas going into the last period if it's still tight. Yeah,
as we'll see the puck coming through now, and it will be gathered on the far side by Badrock, and that one cleared. It will be Heidi Dunn. She's the captain of this Beacons under 16 side. She's the first cousin of Evie Tyndale. So Heidi's dad and Evie's mum are brother and sister. As I say, are part of such a huge hockey family on Tyneside. It's almost hockey royalty, the Dunns and the Tyndales. That one will go into the corner. That's going to be icing. A little shove there from Molly Walker, who does like to mix things up a little bit. She does play that physical brand of hockey, doesn't she?
Yeah, she can be quite physical, Molly. Her mum's in the crowd. I'm sure Molly doesn't want me to point this out, but she's dressed as a giant puck in the crowd somewhere. I'm not sure where she is anymore.
Yeah. But well, as you say, she's dressed up in that puck. I didn't realise who it was at first until I heard her speak, and a Merseyside accent sort of give it away, didn't it?
Yeah, now her dad's dressed as Popeye as well.
Yes,
so.
That's right. Which is all part of the fun, particularly the under 16s. I always find that we get people dressing up. Last year we had the Raptors, the dinosaurs for the Rattlesnakes.
There's still a few of them kicking about this year as well.
There is, actually, yeah, you're right. There is one or two. Some of the younger players dressed up as them as opposed to parents last season. As we're just seeing here, Tyndale drifting out wide. She'll carry on.
1 on 5 at the moment. She's still got the.
As we'll see, puck goes into the corner.
I think my point on Evie Tyndale was that she's also done all that in an age where the mercy rule was perhaps applied incorrectly.
Yes, she's been robbed of a fair few points, certainly in previous seasons. I think we've done a good job as a club, Whitley. I say we because I am part of the Beacons, of course, but she had, I think, most, because I was keeping a tally in the games which did go beyond the mercy rule, and it was only sort of midway through the season when we got confirmation that it no longer applied, or should never have applied in the first place. But certainly last season, the season before, she would have been robbed of a fair few points, I would have said. But so we don't know just exactly how many points she would have scored in total, but she's a scoring phenom, isn't she?
Yeah. And not just at this level. She can score goals at any level.
Well, you've seen her as well in Div 1, haven't you? She plays for Kingston Diamonds in Div 1. You obviously coach the Caledonia Steel Queens, so you've gone head-to-head. She's onto her backhand, gets a shot off, but tried to go 5-hole, but Lilith Wright did a good job of covering that one up. Yeah,
that was a really nice play from Emily. I thought she might try the backhand again there, just the way she had the angle she had the puck. But yeah, that was a really nice play from her.
Well, it's part of a repertoire, isn't it? And she's very good at doing so.
Yeah. I promised Beth I wouldn't mention her getting burnt by Evie last year again, and you've been sort of teasing me to say it almost. So.
Yes, you can blame me for that one. As Rebecca Goldring gathers now, she's got a bit of space to work with and gets a shot off, and that was again, she's someone who can generate a lot of power on her wrist shots, can't she?
Yeah, she's a great young talent, really quick mover as well. Her feet work really hard, and her stride's really good. So yeah, it's the whole thing. This is one big Scottish line here.
It is, yeah. It's sort of in the middle of a line change here, aren't they, Whitley? It's shot comes in the back of the net, and that is one heck of a goal from Emily Duffy, and that will double the Beacons' lead. And
that's exactly what I was talking about with that release.
Yeah,
that's an elite level release right there.
Yeah, and you can see what it means. Peyton Carnison out of their crease are all joining in the goal celebration. We'll get a replay on the goal here now then. And Emily just given that time to really wrap her stick around it, and wow, that made the net ripple, didn't it? So
just the way both her hands work together there, if she flexes a stick and goes right through that.
Yeah, and that's something we didn't have last year, and that was the Beacons taking a 2-goal lead. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Rattlesnakes react to that. We did say in the podcast early in the week, Rambo, how Whitley had it, I wouldn't say easy, but if you look at the results, and the competitiveness of the North was very different to the South, and Chelmsford perhaps were a little bit more battle hardened in that they were in a 4-way fight for the 2 playoff berths, which ultimately they won to get second place, but so we've seen off a lot of good teams already. So they've had a lot more competitive games than perhaps Whitley would have had coming into this game. But looking at it, you wouldn't think so, would you? As Whitley have had quite a positive start in this first period.
Yeah, they look really up for it today. They look super composed as well. They don't look nervy. So. Obviously, that's important for them, and they need to keep that composure if they're going to ride out this game, and then ultimately go and do the thing they've been so close to the last couple of seasons. So
yeah, I mean, and really, again, as we said in the podcast, we love a good wrestling term, but to be the best, you have to beat the best, and Chelmsford have been the best for the last couple of years. Have been champions in back-to-back years, and there's a sense of if they are to take that crown off them, they kind of have to go through them to get there, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. You've got. It's actually fitting in a way, and it's nice in a way that they're coming together again after obviously the disappointment of last year. I see they've switched round to using the centre for this play. I wonder if they've got a set play in mind.
Yeah, it's Molly Walker who took the draw there. That one's just about kept inside the zone, still inside the blue line, but summer basing it was. He tried to get that one away. So I'm sure you can hear back home the announcement. Emily Duffy's gone. There we go. We can see Molly Walker's mother's the puck over on the far side. You might just see her in on the screen when you were back at that side of the rink. But for now, it's Heidi Dunn who digs the puck out, tipped on by Walker and chased down by Duffy. That one's going to be dumped back in by Tilly Howell. But yeah, and because they are back-to-back champions, Rambo, you can't ever rule the Rattlesnakes out. And here we go again. Didn't get a clean shot off, but did force a save all the same. And they've got enough goals and talent, particularly on that top line, that will cause the Beacons trouble.
Absolutely. I don't. I think Peyton's great and everything, but I'd be surprised if this is a game that finishes with one team without Chelmsford getting a goal.
Indeed, yeah, they're too good of a side not to score, aren't they? And plenty of time to go as Heidi Dunn wraps a stick round that one, gets it on target, and that will come back out. So, I mean, since that opening sort of 30 seconds or so, it's been pretty much all Beacons, but Rattlesnakes looking dangerous on the break. But here's Tyndale looking to split the D. Will get a second go at it as she collects her own rebound, digs it out the corner. She's just so difficult to get off the puck, isn't she? She shifts her weight from one side to the other.
Body position's great, but she also makes it look effortless. If you watch like her feet, she's not taking choppy strides or anything. It's very smooth. Yeah. I mean, sometimes she seems like she's just sea cutting, you know?
Yeah. Well, that will do it for the first period then. Beacons very much in the ascendancy right now, but let's not rule out this Rattlesnakes side. We know just how good of a team they are. We're going to take a very short break. Be back with you in around about 5 minutes' time. I believe we're going to get a 5-minute break. So, or 2 minutes.
2 minutes
so,
break. Go.
Yeah, very quick. We'll be back shortly.
Yes, we will.
Welcome back to Sheffield. So it was a little bit longer than 2 minutes. We had a stop on the clock as it ran down. Not quite sure what that was about, but there's a little bit more than when we were expecting. Freya Price is in the box for Chelmsford, so I think that happened just at the very end of that last period. And just apologies as well, folks, as we're back underway here. The camera froze for about 30 seconds before. Not sure why that happened, but you didn't miss any action. I can assure you of that, but just apologies for that. And hopefully that's the last glitch we'll have of the weekend as Tyndale will carry in. Cuts onto her backhand, gets a shot off. That's a big save by Lilith Wright, and she was so quick with the actions there to get that one away, Rambo.
Yeah, I mean, from talking glitches to cheat codes, I mean, what move that was.
Indeed, yeah, and I mean, she is excellent. We know that from previous years as Tyndale fires over, trying to find her range here. I'll be amazed if she's kept off the score sheet this weekend. There's Heidi Dunn.
I mean, based on my bold prediction at the podcast, yes. She better not be. I mean, I'll look rather foolish if she gets no points.
Yeah, you said 20, didn't you? But I mean, she is playing on 3 different teams, so there's a potential to play 6 games, or I'd imagine you would expect her to sort of play 5 with the way we assume the results are going to go, but of course you can't guarantee that. And that one is released as Freya Price looks a little bit disconsolate there, but Tilly Howell gets a shot off. Heidi Dunn did enough to block it just as she pulled the trigger, so that helped to redirect the shot off target. Good battle work along the boards in front of a Rattlesnakes bench as the battle continues, and now Catherine Mitchell will gather. She will carry it behind the net and just take a bit of sting out of the attack and rebuild as Duffy will work along the boards. That will release Goldring, and I think with it being the end of the power play, I think that's probably what we saw before, Rambo, and it caught us off guard actually. But I didn't actually see the penalty being called. It was such a swift manoeuvre as Rattlesnakes looking to try and get themselves on the board themselves as Walker just about gets it over the line. Duffy will now carry it forward. It's one-on-one here. She's drifting wide, gets a shot off, but again, Zinnia Quilter, who's been excellent so far for the Rattlesnakes. We've got a replay coming up here as Tyndale breaking in. This was the earlier chance onto her backhand.
So if you watch her feet there, that's what I'm talking about. It's just all edge work. There's not big strides, that is so controlled.
Yes.
Makes hockey look easy. I bet there's people at home going, that's not a difficult game. That is very difficult to do what she just did.
Yes, it is, yeah. And I mean, we talk a lot about a mum's side of a family, but you've got to give a lot of credit to her dad as well, Andrew Tyndale, who had one of the best set of hands I've ever seen on a Whitley Warriors player, and he did a lot of work with her prior to lockdown. They even built her an outdoor rink in the garden and did a lot of work with her on her stick handling, and that's really helped her from a young age, really, as Poppy Skelton just flashes wide of a target, and that will be gathered behind the back of the net. Rattlesnakes looking to play out, but caught in possession a little bit there. That was didn't quite see who. I think it was Zinnia Quilter in actual fact, as Beddoes tips that one in. She's another one with famous hockey family. As that one's cleared from behind the back of the net. Well, marshalled though by Holly Smith, who has the distinction of playing on the same Beacons Div 2 side as her mum, Vicky, who co-coaches this under-16s team with Poppy Skelton's mum, Jane. And that one just stabbed wide. I think Lilith got a piece of it. And Steph Towns I can see on the bench for this one as well. So they've got all three coaches on the bench for this.
But all matching as well.
Yes, it's the playoff hoodies that they've launched. It's got an additional star on from last year to signify every league championship they've had in the Division 2, in the under-16 North rather, as that one just sailed under the stick of Emily Duffy, but some good work on that right wing side. Quick transition game from the Beacons as well to enter that offensive zone, as it will be carried out by Tilly Howe. That one goes forward and dumped in. That's probably going to go for icing. Nope, it's been waved off.
They said there was a touch there.
I didn't see one.
I didn't see one, but...
But anyway, they're keeping the pace of the game going. That puck gets caught under the skates of one of the officials, and it's almost fell nicely for a Rattlesnakes player. They're still in an offside position.
Yeah, they're not quite settled, Chelmsford, in this game. They look a little bit, well, rattled, dare I say.
Yes, because Rattlesnakes are rattled a little bit. If you look at Freya Price's body language, she looks very disconsolate right now. She's downhearted, which is not what you usually see from her. And that was like an off-the-ice collision between her and Molly Walker. I'm not sure what happened there, but I just think they weren't looking at one another ultimately. But Molly looked a little bit surprised when she was upended. As Emily Duffy will collect behind the back of the net. But Tilly Howe was very much the star of the show last season, as she scored the goals which ultimately won the Rattlesnakes their second championship in as many seasons. They've had so much talent over the years that's aged out, but they've still kept a lot of them together, and Howe and Price are going to be still here next season, so it's not inconceivable that they could be back here at the playoffs next season as well. So they're keeping this, like, it's almost like a production line down in Essex, but they keep finding these top quality youngsters. Be a little bit different for Whitley because they're losing 7 players. So the real big core of the group will age out, so it's pretty much a full rebuild for next year. But that one, it's a lovely setup, yeah, from Tyndale to pick out Fraser in the low slot. But the Rattlesnakes will get that one away. Carried in almost by Tyndale. She opts to hold on. Good puck possession from her. Now she'll release Poppy Skelton down this right wing side. So good and strong on the puck. And she's really benefited from playing in Div 2 this season. Plays on the top line there alongside their 2 top scorers, Iona Harrison and Joy Hurst, which are 2 great experienced players to play alongside. And she's really complements that top line, and it has been part of a reason why Beacons Div 2 have made the playoffs this season, as we can see it again here. Tyndale's dish there to the low slot. And Fraser had time to steady herself, get the shot off, but it was a good save by Lilith Wright, who it popped up a little bit and she pushed it away.
Yeah, probably wishing she was left-handed there for that one.
Yes, indeed, yeah. As we'll get a face-off over on
the little set play lined up here. I think if it goes back, Molly on the 1T. Oh no, it didn't go back. So we'll never find out. We'll never know.
No, we won't. But like you say, Rambo, it was a very different sort of setup, wasn't it, than what you traditionally expect, as Walker tried to... Oh, she has scored!
Short-sided!
I was going to say, why is she attempting from that angle? But that's why, because she's squeezed it home. She spotted a gap and clearly thought she could squeeze the puck home, and that's exactly what she's done. And the Beacons go 3 goals to the good. And Steph Towns is the happiest Beacon in here right now. That is quite some lead at this stage of the game, Rambo, and we'll see the replay of it coming up now. Puck comes loose.
Goldring's occupied 2D there.
Yeah, we couldn't quite see how it went in because there's a defender screening it from us, but what a finish that was. I'm thinking that is such an acute angle, but she clearly knew she was going to squeeze that one home, and she did exactly that.
I think Lilith Wright probably thinking to herself that she's going to try and pass there and not thinking about the shot, and just taking what was open to her and getting a goal. So.
Well, I mean, 3 different scorers then for the Beacons, and here comes Duffy, who got the second goal, and she scored again, and that is another fantastic finish from her. Wow, what power she got in that, and Lilith Wright, as good as she is, she stood no chance with that effort.
Yeah, that is a terrific finish right upstairs.
Yeah, then we'll see the replay again.
In the cookie cupboard. I think that's what Laird says, cookie cupboard.
Yeah. We see here just on the face-off dot, and that little backlift there just flipped it into a top corner. What a strike!
Yeah, there's a lot to be said for bringing stand-up goalies back. You've got someone shooting at you like that.
Well, indeed, yeah, it's a dying breed, that though, isn't it? Everyone pretty much in the butterfly style now these days. And a former goalie yourself, you know this, Rambo.
Oh, I wasn't a butterfly goalie. I was the stand-up. I was the last of the stand-up.
Stack the pads. Yeah. That one comes back
Punt
to
the
Hardy.
puck from from the side. And
yes. Well, rather you than me. I don't think I'd be quite brave enough to shoot to face shots pucks being shot at me at that speed. And controlled by Tyndale now. We're still getting the announcement of the third goal, which will tell you just how quickly those 2 goals came apart. So we've gone quickly from a 2-goal game to a 4-goal lead for the Beacons then. Hardy Dunn will gather. Being put under some pressure here from Freya Price. So she has got Elite League experience playing on the Queen Bees this season, so we'll see her later on as Tyndale races in, gets through and shoots. Big save, that was a palm stinger there for Lilith Wright, but she was very quick to cover up, and that's something I'm always impressed by Lilith, is that even if she can't close the glove on it, she makes a stop and she will react so quick to cover up the rebound. And we see it again here.
She probably really needed that as well, with just the quickness of those 2 goals. It gives her a bit of confidence in herself. I mean, a couple of quick goals doesn't make you a bad goalie, but it certainly can play in your mind. So, well,
I mean, the first one you probably weren't expecting it to be squeezed home from that range, and the second one certainly she stood no chance with that. No. And that one will be controlled behind the back of the net by the Rattlesnakes, but it's a forced turnover by Duffy, who's having herself a game here. She's on for a hat-trick, and I believe she has scored in every under-16s Beacons game she's played at league level. Don't think she scored in the playoffs last year. I can't remember, to be honest, but there's a bit of a slash from both sides here. Tilly Howell slashing Lydia Beddoes there, and there's going to be a penalty called on the Rattlesnakes. That was a little bit naughty, but they are saying it was 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, but it's going to be Tilly Howell goes into the box. And Holly Smith just giving Lilia a pass on the shoulder there, but there was a good couple of slashes there, and the officials did well to spot that, I think. But you can see, I think that's probably growing frustration, isn't it? Because the game's not gone the Rattlesnakes' way. It's uncharted territory for them. They've never been behind in a playoff game for 3 years.
No, I think they just got to maybe keep their composure a little bit. And I mean, they can. There's plenty of time to get 4 goals back.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I should say they haven't been 4 goals behind. They've only down a goal a few times last season to the Beacons, but always quickly equalised. And this is a very different game this season so far. And Lilith right there, we're just focusing on. And so you can't really blame her for the goals. They've been excellent shots. And Tyndale shot on the turn.
That's a good quick glove save on that turn as well. Yeah,
and it was difficult as well because it was down low. She had to react quick, and Tyndale with that sort of semi-spinorama, if you like. And they'll go again from the draw. Poppy Skelton closes in, but Rattlesnakes will get it away. Hardy Dunn, quick look over her shoulder. She's got time. Yeah, this was a slashing call for Tilly Howell. Carried out by Tyndale. Rides the challenge off the boards. Lets the rebound still with Tyndale across. Oh,
that's a great save.
It was, yeah. She tried to set up Skelton there, who gets the shot off. But again, Lilith getting across her crease well, and we'll see the replay here. Excellent pass. It was a 2-on-1 break. Tyndale to Skelton, and then maybe didn't get enough power in the shot as Poppy would like. But excellent save. Weirdly enough, she's not scored that many goals for a 16s, Poppy, but Div 2, she's having an absolute field day, and you know she's scoring goals for fun at a senior level.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable, isn't it?
I mean, the 16s team is not short of people who can score goals, so maybe she maybe fills a slightly different role. And
yeah, that's true.
I mean, that was a lovely pass. She drew the defender to her, Evie, and then made the pass. And
yeah, and that's something that for all the points and goals we talk about with Evie Tyndale, she is one of the most unselfish players you'll ever like to meet. As Lilith makes another save, then we'll get a retake on the face-off. She's got an uncanny ability just to pick somebody out, and she gets just as much enjoyment from setting up the play as finishing one.
Well, you still get a point for a pass,
you
right?
You do indeed. Yeah, got 70-odd goals this season, and it's incredible, really, the season she's had. As that one will come across to Heidi Dunn. Many people saying, if in comparison to what they were like at that age, she's probably even exceeded what Ruby Newlands did at 15 and 16, and that is some statement and compliment as that one comes through and will be covered up by Lilith once more. So it keeps the face-off inside the Rattlesnake zone. They are under a lot of pressure here. It's still about 46 seconds, I think, left on the power play. Unfortunately, we can't really see the scoreboard here, folks, because there's a couple of stanchions, an air vent and some speakers covering it up, so we're in the worst possible position to see the scoreboard. And at the other end, it's in some sort of alien language that's coming up, so we can't decipher that at all.
I think Will Smith might appear, because I think Independence Day is about to happen based on what I'm seeing on this board up here.
Yes, indeed, yeah. There's the puck battle over in the corner. Heidi Dunn having the puck tied up, and it's with Beeson, who was challenging her. Now Tyndale's got a bit of space to move here. She'll lead the rush, as she so likes to do. Little drag back before the release, just wide of the target. As you say, Rambo, she makes it look so effortless, doesn't she, when she's controlling the puck. And she'll shoot again, short side, big save by Lilith Wright, and then Zinnia Quilter will mop up behind the back and fend off a strong challenge from Molly Walker. Still with Zinnia, she'll take a little shove in the back for her troubles, and then they have to double up on her in the end. Tilly Howell back onto the ice. Nice poke check from Heidi Dunn there.
The refs are definitely letting them play a little bit in this game, because there's been a few plays that might have drawn a penalty perhaps earlier in the season that they're kind of letting the players ride out.
It's playoff hockey though, isn't it? I think we have to be a little bit more lenient in that.
Nothing egregious. I'm not suggesting that for a minute, but
it's physical, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, that one comes through.
That's an important save for Peyton to make there. She's not faced much in the last sort of 8-9 minutes of this game of playing time, and so to get a quick shot like that and stay big. It's important, as you say. It's one of them games where you could face 4 or 5 shots, but if you give up one goal, your stats look terrible, don't they? As Oz Tyndale lets fly once more, but Lilith Wright again has the answer to her. And we'll get a face-off inside the Rattlesnake zone as we get the face-off here. Replay here as Tyndale collects off the boards. Look at all that space she's got. Little wrist shot there. Low down, forcing the glove save. And we're going to face off. You wonder if that decision to shoot like that was an end of the shift decision.
Yeah,
if it goes in, it's a goal, but if not, and it gets eaten up, I'm going to get a change, and that's a good time for it. So.
I think you're right. As Freya Price looking to get the breakout down this left wing side. Rose Wilson doing a good job of just trying to stem that momentum. Teddy Howell lets fly. That's a nice glove save though by Peyton Carnison, as you say. Rambo again just keeps her in the game, keeps her warm. And it's important for Rattlesnakes here because now we've got an offensive zone face-off of their own. And back underway. It's going to be Rose Wilson who...
If all the Whitley players taped their helmets with Whitley colours, or is it just me? Oh,
yes, they've got tape on. It's Poppy Skelton. Tried to go 5-hole and Lilith closed the pad. She said, no, not happening, not on my watch. But I mean, it was probably a little bit unfortunate there for Poppy because she was right on the doorstep by the time she gathered the puck in, and if it was a little bit further out, she would have had more options there. And that one is carried forward. Nice poke check by Holly Smith, who is maturing into such a top-class defender on this, not just this Beacon 16 side, but on their Div 2 side as well. And that one's picked off by Molly Walker. Oof, and again, I think Lilith got a piece of that with the glove.
It looked like it, certainly. It looked like it.
Yeah, I think she's got a fingertip to it. It was enough to get it away from goal.
Oh, that's a great back check from Molly Walker there.
Yeah.
Taking good responsibility over defensive duties. Former has played D. Certainly, I think maybe at the start of her playing career, and then really good centre as well. So you know, very very adept at covering all positions.
She is, yeah. Such a good competitor. That one cleared from the face-off circle, not quite out the zone. Now it will be, and down to the final 3 minutes of this second period. That one will force the young defender Felicity Blythe to go back. Picked off by Tyndale. Now Mel McFarlane whiffs on the effort, but they'll chase that one down on the far side. Beacons are mixing the lines up a little bit, as you mentioned before, Rambo. It does seem like Duffy and Goldring are on the same line now, and the double shift in Tyndale. I mean, why not when you've got her? But she's going to be playing a lot of hockey this weekend. One of 3 teams she'll be playing on here is Rebecca Goldring from the Aberdeen area, so that's quite a lengthy commute to come to Whitley for just a home game.
It certainly is. Sometimes pray for her dad's car tyres, you know.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, but that is the commitment that a lot of the girls, as you well know, Rambo, for the Scottish girls to be able to play hockey, and particularly for elite level, as somebody on your own books, Beth Diaz-Schoon, who had to do it for years, travelled down from Fife to Hull, which is quite the distance.
Yeah, exactly. It's good we've got, you know, Scottish teams popping up now. But obviously to play at certain levels and, you know, 16s and stuff, you still got to make those trips to England.
Yeah.
We're not got anything sort of like the level of Div 1 or Elite anywhere near that.
Yeah.
I think it'll be it's good, and hopefully it'll keep developing. But you need to have some commitment to play at the higher levels. And
you do indeed. Rebecca Goldring almost broke in before his Tyndale, and Skelton doing a good job keeping that energy on this top line inside the final minute of his second period now. As chance at the other end for the Rattlesnakes, but again, good work by Hardy Dunn. Just leaned into her a little bit, used her body size because she's quite a bit taller than the Chelmsford forward, able just to lean in on her and put her off. Skelton.
That's a lovely pass.
Isn't it? Just, yeah, great hands from Poppy as that's a rising effort from Tyndale goes over the bar. And again, you know, Poppy's somebody who is massively underrated for what she does, her work rate, particularly in this under-16s team. As you said before, Rambo, there's a lot of goals scored by other players, and her role in the team is to give them that balance, and she does it so well.
Yeah, she seems like a real good grinder. You know, as someone said, sometimes you need the sandpaper
yes,
on your team, and she seems to give them that. You know,
she does. Yeah, she's got a range of abilities on the team, and that's helped her side to a 4-goal lead. We are going to have a 5-minute break here now, so we'll be back with you shortly. Please don't go anywhere.
Yep, put the kettle on. See you.
Welcome back to Ice Sheffield then for the start of its third and final period. Beacons with a 4-goal lead, Rambo, and you'd have to say so far have been good value for that lead.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they've deserved the 4-goal lead. This has been a really complete performance by them. All the players that have been on have worked really hard. They've really limited the Chelmsford chances, and anything that Chelmsford have got, like Peyton's look pretty equal to. So, yeah, I think it's at the moment, Whitley definitely look like they're on the ascendancy here, and Chelmsford they're going to need to do something special just to get some spark in this game.
Well, indeed, yeah.
That was almost it, though.
It was almost stabbed home, wasn't it, on the short side there by Beeson, who is quite say the forgotten member of his top line. But when you're playing alongside Freya Price and Tilly Howe, it's perhaps understandable that she won't get as much of a mention, but works hard alongside them and complements that line well. And Zinnia Quilter as well, the D, the most experienced D on this team. And it's going to be Smith who will drop back there, the number 5, Eliza Smith. That one puck coming off the base of the goal frame. Rattlesnakes able to motor forward now, and it's a 2-on-1 rush here towards Beeson. Gets around Holly Smith, but Smith forces her wide.
The great position there from Holly Smith to make her have to go away from goal. Yeah,
here's Freya Price once more. Fakes a shot and then gets the one off, and that one almost looped on goal, but looped into the goal. But Peyton again doing excellent to just get something on it and force it off target. And that one will be controlled by Beddoes, who I do believe she started off as a forward for the Beacons in her earlier days, but is converted to the blue line. Teddy Howell works a puck back. Quilter forward to Freya Price, but she couldn't gather. Molly Walker will, and she clears. Poppy Skelton, was it? No, it's Rebecca Goldring looking to chase in. Rebecca, who's dyed her hair blonde this year, so does look a lot more similar to Poppy Skelton, the two blonde players on the team with the ponytails. They look similar from a distance. There's a shot from the left-hand side, and Rebecca's somebody else who's made her senior debut in recent months this season. Plays on the Div 2 side. Puck rolling on its side.
Played some games for Solway as well. Played against us in our after turning 14. Yeah, I mean, we knew from about the age of 11 she was going to be a player, but it was just waiting for her to turn 14 so she could make her senior debut, and she's definitely a strong addition to that Beacons team. There's no doubt about that. That's that senior team. Tyndale will chase that one into the corner. Lovely hands from her, went one way then the other. Ooh. I compare it to anyone who's a football fan. I compare it to like a Cruyff turn, which she does, where she sort of contorts one way then the next. It's unreal how she does it. That shift of balance to shift her weight from one side to the other. Heidi Dunn gets a shot off, a redirect from India Bryan then. Just went over the goal frame, and that will be gathered by Heidi Dunn. She's put under a bit of pressure here by the forecheck of the Rattlesnakes. Badrock it is who carries it out. He's back. Now Miley Fraser, who opened the scoring. Didn't quite get a clean connection on it, but Poppy Skelton will chase that one down. And into a corner, Skelton will go again. Natalie Wilson will follow her into the boards. But it's the Rattlesnakes who will carry out from a deep position here. Nice poke check coming in there from Duffy, who's working hard to get back and help out her deep. And that is another side of the game from Emily Duffy that we perhaps haven't touched on, Rambo, but her work rate there. Now she's looking to get it forward. Out wide to Skelton. Over on the right-hand side, centre and pass went through the blue paint and back out again. And a nice little stick lift there from the Rattlesnakes to keep the pressure on the Beacons. The other end now, Freya Price leading the charge. She'll collect off the boards. Holly Smith was going to go with her, but then thought better of it and tracked back. And then Tilly Howell from distance, and that's got in. Oh, it sneaked through.
Yeah, it's
a lot of traffic there.
It was the traffic. Holly Smith gives Beeson the shove as she went past. I think that was the screen which did it. And the Rattlesnakes on the board with just under 11 minutes to go. We'll see it here. Freya Price behind the back of the net. It almost looked like the move had gone quiet. She finds Howell from distance, and she let fly from way north of the high slot, and that has just crept through. And player doing the Thomas Holmstrom roll in front of the net, doing her job well there.
Yeah, you can't stop what you can't see.
No, exactly. Yeah. And that's something that the Rattlesnakes weren't able to do early on in the game, but now they've found success with it. So that's got them, that gives them some hope, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, 10 minutes left. There's plenty of time for them to get the 3 goals they need to send us to overtime. Or
yeah, and it's a shift in momentum as well. Of course, you know, it's Beacons probably realise they need to find another one here just to put the game to bed. And with the momentum's going in Chelmsford's way, then it's sometimes hard when you take a 4-goal lead relatively early in the game to then get yourself back up again to that level. Chelmsford looking to carry out here. Nice entry into his zone by Zinnia Quilter. Nice work from Catherine Mitchell though to ease her towards the boards and put her off. She is the captain of this Rattlesnake side, Zinnia. And that one's cleared by Mitchell. Nicely done as well, as that will be gathered by Eliza Smith. Quilter tips it on and will chase it down. Shot on the backhand, that was going wide, but Heidi Dunn was putting her under a bit of pressure there, so perhaps always likely to be put wide.
Chelmsford have sort of kept this Whitley line pinned in a little bit. They've not been able to change.
No, it's certainly given them a lift, hasn't it, that goal? A bit harder work for them perhaps, because they are relying on Price and Howe to double shift, and here is Price here, and she scores, and what a finish that is. And Freya Price has just announced herself at these playoffs this weekend. She looked quiet before, but she is very much awake now, and well, we'll see it again here. She went past a couple of players, and now it's a 2-goal game with 9:21 to go. Chelmsford are definitely back in it. Dragged it onto her backhand, then shot on the forehand. Not much Peyton Carnison could do then. It was always a case of Freya picking her side, and no surprise here, Beacons have called a timeout.
Yeah, I think the timeout, try and take the temperature down a little bit.
As a coach, Rambo, would you have called a timeout at this stage?
I don't think it's a bad call. I'm not sure I would have called it right now, but equally you don't want to leave it until it's 4-3.
No.
Yeah, maybe want to tighten things up a little bit here. Whitley, they might go down to 2 lines.
Yeah. That's Jane
Probably
Skelton
would
there.
prefer the camera wasn't zoomed in on the coach. I don't think she's necessarily telling them off, but
no.
It looked like it.
That's Jane Skelton, who is the senior coach on this 16s team. She wasn't happy, and you can, as a coach, from her point of view, you can understand why she's not happy. That you're 4-0, you're cruising, and suddenly it's a 2-goal game again. Yeah,
I mean, the one thing I would say about Whitley in that last play, that's a great finish from Freya Price. But that line change was like watching the Elite League Edinburgh Capitals back in the day. It was not a good time to change.
No,
and
that's
it was
right.
very lackadaisical.
Poppy Skelton already looking fired up by her mum's words, and I don't suspect we'll see Freya Price and Tilly Howell leave the ice much in this last 9 minutes or so.
No.
We're already double shifting. They have really got the one main line, but then they'll get the second and third line out of it, but utilising them, whereas Whitley have been literally rolling 3 separate lines.
That's a great play by Heidi Dunn there to break that play up.
It was indeed. She's in control of the puck now. And I guess as much as anything for Beacons here, they've just got to keep possession of it and play the clock as much as play the game, haven't they? We've just got to burn the clock down, keep the clock running. And Evie doing a good job of holding on to it. What a timely goal it would be from her right now.
It's essentially 1 on 5 though.
Yes, she was. Yes. But the problem with that was she didn't really have a passing option, so she kind of had to go it alone, didn't she, and hold on. But Beacons,
that's a good read by Fraser there.
Yeah, Beacons keeping it in the offensive zone, which is kind of what they need to do right now. That was Beeson who got a piece of it, but Holly Smith able to clean up on the blue line. Beeson again, who's working hard on this shift. He's going to go back. That was a short shift from her, but as I say, we are literally just rotating 1 or 2 off that forward line now. Quilter, I don't think, has been off the ice for a while. They are using their experienced heads, and it's working for them, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what you got to do. I mean, it's the playoffs. It's a big squad game all season, but you know as a coach you're going to put your big players out, try and secure the win. Yeah. I mean, you don't get the win now, you're going home. So
yeah, that's pushed aside by Lilith Wright, and. Well, it's been...
You need to stay disciplined here as well. Keep sticks down, make sure you're moving your feet.
Yeah, here comes basing.
And that's what I'm talking about from Emily Duffy there. Kept moving her feet, draw skatey pat through the player, not to the player. That's what you need to do.
Yeah, indeed.
Tell you what, that must have stung. But if they're going to win this game now, she's going to wear that bruise with as a badge of honour.
Oh, absolutely, she will. Yeah, and I mean, they, as you say, Rambo, they kind of have to do that now. They are not ready to surrender their crown. It's been a really good journey for this Rattlesnakes side. This is their 4th straight year at the playoffs, as it is for the Beacons. As Tyndale across to Skelton. What a save, yeah, by Lilith Wright.
The D, though, Lilith Wright doesn't realise the play's still going on.
It's amazing, wasn't it? I mean, because naturally you'd probably think that Evie was going to shoot there, but she sent it to the back post, and Lilith just got across her crease so well, which meant she'd smothered it really before Poppy even had a chance to release it.
I mean, that hurt me just watching that, to be honest.
Yeah. But for what looked a comfortable lead coming into this 3rd period for the Beacons, now it's looking a little bit more nervy. And Rattlesnakes with their tails up. Yeah, that was offside.
That was most definitely offside.
Beeson was a good foot ahead. Yeah. We'll see the replay here of that chance that Tyndale created. Dished it onto the backhand. Skelton.
That's a phenomenal save. The D kind of almost caused more mayhem
here
as well by just throwing the puck up the middle.
And a bit of a stoppage here as there's a line change going on, but Skelton saw the lights, didn't she? She thought the red light was going to come on there, but excellent save, really was by Lilith Wright, and no real surprise about that. She's always somebody you would expect to be in contention for all-star goalie, isn't she?
Yeah, absolutely.
As it's worked back. Rattlesnakes will look to clear, a little flick out the zone. Holly Smith will gather as Freya Price was looking to break in there. They are starting to use their bench a little bit more now. As Alice Whiting has sort of rotated in. Now she's about the 4th or 5th player that they've used with Tilly Howe and Freya Price.
It seems like they're gonna double shift. Those two are gonna play every second shift with someone else.
Yeah.
And try and find a bit of chemistry and just get another one. Oh, what a save!
Yeah, just sat up in the blue paint once again. That's clear. Comes back to Holly Smith, but that one's going to be blocked and charged down by the Rattlesnakes and Tilly Howe. That one comes back into a Rattlesnake zone. We have about 4.5 minutes and change. So still plenty of time for Rattlesnakes to tie this one up out wide to Skelton, who straddles that centre red line, then will release Tyndale. Those two working something between them. Tyndale happy to stay out wide right for the time being. Fraser's open, she'll find her. Fraser will shoot, takes a deflection off a Rattlesnake stick, and then cleared into the corner. Fraser still not giving up on the play row, and Skelton will battle behind the back of the net with Zinnia Quilter. Comes back to Tyndale, she's controlling, shoots, but again blocked. I think that might have come off Eliza Smith that time. Fraser to Tyndale, that one's picked off though, and Beeson's going to charge out. She's been very good at getting the breaks here. It's 1-on-1 for Beeson.
Oh, that's a challenge
there by Tyndale.
That is more important than any of the passes she's made in this game. That was a brilliant play. They needed that right there.
Literally got that poke check in as she was pulling the trigger there, Beeson. And what, as they say, what a play that was from Tyndale. That is what you want. That's a team player moment, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that girl had about 5 yards on her as well. She did, yeah. She closed it down so quick. That was such an important play for Whitley Bay there.
Yeah, indeed. And that one we forward to Morena.
I can't tell if they're shouting beacons or defence up there.
It's hard to tell, isn't it? Yeah, it's so noisy in here, isn't it? And it always is when it's Chelmsford here. They've got some very colourful fans. They bring drums and dressed up as raptors and dinosaurs, and they have banners and everything, which is great, which is what the playoffs should all be about. Somebody's got a cowbell out there as well. That one's carried forward by Rebecca Goldring. Can she get a shot off? She will, but it was a rising effort and might have just brushed the fingertips of Lilith right there on the way over. But it was a good breakout, 2:44 to go. And forward by Quilter. who is getting forward a lot more now from the back. Whiting dropping back to help out.
They've got to throw everything at this.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking, Rambo, how long before they think about pulling the left right for an additional attacker? Because they've got 2 goals to make up. They've kind of got to go for it, haven't they?
It's getting near crunch time now. If I'm a coach, I'm probably hoping there's a stop and play like very soon. I mean, you'd like that. Oh, there's a stick going flying there. Yeah,
Holly Smith with some good, strong defending there. I mean, when it's a 1-goal game, you'd leave it a little bit later, but you haven't got that luxury when you've got 2 goals to make up. You've got to go for it a little bit earlier, haven't you?
Yeah. As someone who always pulls a goalie, we're down.
Yeah. But you've got to. You might as well lose by 3 goals as 2 goals and know that you've given it a go, and you kind of have to, don't you? They're not called a timeout. Yeah, they are. They're giving the signal now. I think they were, or he's saying watch out.
Yeah, they need to get it deep if we're going to do it now.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
especially with the line on that Whitley have.
Yeah. Still, Lilith Wright's looking. That's dumped in. What they need is an offensive zone face-off. Now he's shouting at it. No, he's still saying look. The coach of the.
What he'd give right now for them for Whitley to ice the puck here.
Well, yes, that's right. Yeah. And that's exactly what Jane Skelton, Vicky Smith and Steph Towns will be screaming at them not to do, of course. And they will look to carry out.
I think they'll ride. If he's actually gone off, I'm surprised at that. I thought they would just ride her out for the last 2 minutes because they want to hold on to that puck, but they really need to get her now. I mean, now is the time.
You've got to, yeah, under a minute to go. Poppy Scott, but the thing is, while the Beacons have the puck, they can't do it, they can't risk it. That's going to be offside, and that is a bit of a break.
Now's your timeout time, yeah, absolutely.
It will only bring it out, of course, into a neutral zone, but
yeah, but you can draw something up, and get out the line you want, get a break.
Yeah. They're going to call a timeout now. This is interesting because for me, you would probably call it which is an ideal time then to get Lilith off the ice, isn't it?
Yeah,
but they can't do it.
You don't know if you're going to get another stop again, so you've got to kind of get it done now. I mean, it's getting late early, as they say. So yeah, you've got to do it now.
Well, that's Adam Quilter, who is the main coach of the Rattlesnakes, who's talking to the players. Zinnia's father. Zoe Basing's the manager, which is Summer's mother, and then Christina Powell is what's known as a foundation coach. She was playing on the blue line for them last season and the season before. She's England international, GB international as well, half Finnish on her mother's side. And as I say, got that experience to do that. And I know Connie Feidler did a similar role last season. I think it's a nice touch that your aged out players are still part of the team and they can use that experience, that championship winning DNA, if you like, is there to pass on to that next generation. That one is dumped in. What you need to do is
eat this here. You don't need to worry about scoring.
Yeah,
and that's exactly what Molly Walker's doing.
She'll do that all day for you.
Chelmsford almost helped her there by putting it back into the pile. That's a great defensive play by Holly Smith.
Yeah. And I mean, you're talking about players turning up for the big moments as that one pops up. And Holly Smith is someone who's done that in this game. She's been an outstanding performance from her. And Molly Walker, as we say, she's played the physical game when she's had to, and took her goal well. And to say, knowing how to kill the clock. And with 8 seconds to go, the Beacons are surely going to be in tomorrow's final now.
It's not a pretty way to do it, just eating the puck like that, but it's
but it's job done, isn't it?
And job done, yeah.
That is, I think from their point of view, they've vanquished the ghosts of last year. They've beaten the one side who spoiled their perfect season, and as they celebrate, let's just spare a moment for this Rattlesnake side. They have been the standard bearers for 3 years, Rambo, and for them that winning journey has come to an end, but we wouldn't be surprised to see them back here next year. We do feel for them after 3 years of top quality and of seeing them win so much, but we will get the handshakes here, and there will be a presentation for the Beacons for their league success and their trophy. The third year in a row they've had that.
Yeah, it's a nice touch doing it after the semi-finals, I think. Yeah. So you get it on the ice, it's also, you make sure the teams are there and there's someone there to present it, which is nice.
and it gets it out of the way where if you've got the same team gets to win the playoffs as well, and they've got another trophy celebration for that, it kind of doesn't impact that. You've separated it as we get the handshakes here. Thoughts on MVP, Rambo, for this game?
I mean, for me, I think for the Beacons, I think it has to go Emily Duffy. Just those two really important goals, but also just that. I mean, those couple of back checks and defensive plays she made were hugely important. So yeah, I think I would go with Emily if I was picking for them. It's a little bit tough for Chelmsford. I thought they were really good, but I think I'd probably go with Quilter. I thought she did quite well to keep Evie quiet. Obviously, it's easy you keep one player quiet and then essentially there's three more of them to pop up to noise you up very quickly.
Well, I'd be inclined to agree. Yeah. I think absolutely Zinnia Quilter was excellent at the back. And yeah, I mean, Emily Duffy, I mean, them goals she scored was outstanding. Yeah. But we shall wait. We will, of course, stay on air while we have the announcements. There will be the presentation, as I say, for the Beacons for winning what was the Northern Conference of the Under-16s. And then there should be an ice cut before the next game. In fact, it'll have to be, because there's been a full game take place on this one before the second game.
Has to be an ice cut.
So it is showing 5 minutes on the scoreboard clock, but that I think that's just ready
wishful
for
thinking.
Yes, I think once the ice cut's finished, then it becomes 5 minutes for the warm-up. That will start ticking down as soon as the Zamboni's finished its job. But we will, as I say, we will stay on air and give you this. And it's nice to see that the leadership groups from both sides hugging it out. They know each other so well from the England camps and from the GB camps, a lot of them in the 18s now as well, of course. So player of the game will be first, for which Faye Andrews is ready to present them. So Evie Tyndale, Heidi Dunn and Poppy Skelton, the leadership teams for the leadership group for the Beacons. Zinnia Quilter, you nailed it there, Rambo, absolutely spot on, and she is the captain, so she doesn't have far to go to collect her trophy, but very well deserved for Zinnia. Obviously Freya Price and Tilly Howell, the other two members of that leadership group, it's kind of what you'd expect. They are the senior players on each side. And for the Beacons, Miley Fraser, of course, opened the scoring, and she did put in a heck of a shift through that game, so well done to her. And one of the younger players who will still be here next year, and that'll be good for her to think she's made her mark in a playoff semi-final. Yeah,
I think she was excellent. There was a lot of choice there.
It was.
But Whitley now obviously getting the sticks and gloves down, so they can now go and get their. I think did they get caps? Is it caps again?
Caps,
it is
medals,
caps.
yeah. And the trophy which Heidi Dunn will lift for the third straight year. And
it's always, the caps are always nice, I think, and it's a nice touch.
Yes, it is. Yeah, the caps and the medals. It's a nice combo. You can see the gloves going flying there.
I think you can take your helmet off to get your cap. I'm not sure what the policy is.
Well, yes, because they've got their helmets on right now, haven't they? So.
They've went in the wrong order.
They have. They kind of thought, oh well. Of course, this is for the benefit of them reading out the roster, but yeah, it's not in numerical order. It doesn't really matter.
But I'm glad they've not sort of overreacted to that and tried to push each other out of the way to get in the right order.
No, that's true. Yeah, and look, for this group of girls, as I say, 7 of them are aging out. They will get one more game. They'll get the maximum in then before they age out, and well, it's going to be an interesting final for them tomorrow, either Ice Bees or D-side. We will find out who coming up next. That is the next game for you. And here is the trophy presentation. So Heidi Dunn, step forward. This is something she's getting used to doing on a regular basis.
Meadows turned back round again. Faye tried to turn it the right way. It didn't like that.
Heidi Dunn, captain. And the Beacons then celebrating their under-16 North Championship. And we will leave you with these pictures then, and we'll be back in a few moments' time. There will be an ice cut, as I say, and then it will be the 5-minute warm-up for the ISB's D-side game. And so me and Rambo will take a short break and be back with you very shortly. So thank you for listening, and please don't go anywhere.
Cheers, folks. Thank you.